How do you feel now that we have more restrictive corona measures again?
Kind of down, honestly.
I am tired.
Impatient.
Demotivating.
And annoyed.
Not in control. Upset. Sad. Sad. Not again.
Feels like a routine by now.
Like it's just never ending.
Like it's gonna keep going on and on and on, and it's a bit stressful.
I feel a bit trapped again, honestly.
I keep thinking, the next one is when it's gonna be over.
I think it's frustrating that we still haven't gotten over it.
I feel like compared to the impact it had on other people, it just skipped me.
Do you think your needs as a student are being taken into account by the government?
Not really.
Not really.
No.
Yes, because I feel my needs are not priority at the moment.
To some extent, yes. I think that the government's done a good job at keeping schools open.
I feel like they are trying for sure, and I feel like education is kind of on the forefront in like the Dutch discussions.
They seem very happy to make us pass exams in person.
I mean, I know that they're keeping the school open for exams, which feels kind of typical because it's kind of what you don't want to do.
Yeah, and I'm not going to complain too much because we as students have gotten the better end of the stick in some ways.
I really do hope that as soon as it's possible they open it up again, because I can't really deal with another semester online.
Online, offline, online, offline. Like it should be taken into account definitely that we are people that suffer mentally a lot from those restrictions.
How has corona impacted your student experience?
Well, my student experience is corona.
There's been corona since we came here, so a lot, I suppose.
I feel like so far I've been quite fortunate as a first year.
I feel like I kind of lost a year a little bit.
I think there are so many ways in which corona has impacted the students.
And it's influenced classes, it's influenced the ability to go out and do stuff in Amsterdam, social life at the dorms, basically everything.
Socially, it just it feels a little bit restrictive.
The student experience of hanging out with everyone and being in the dorms has been different. We here at AUC basically had no corona because we still had this possibility of finding connections.
It also made me value, I think, social interactions because there are times when they're not a given.
Student life is all about clubbing and going out and all that fun stuff, and right now there is just no legal way to do that.
And if you go to parties, it's also like, oh, this is kind of illegal, but I still want to go. Luckily, I feel like we don't know anything else necessarily, so I have still had a good student experience so far. AUC has really made the most of it.
Corona has immensely impacted life, and not really for the better.
What do you feel like you have most missed out on?
Probably partying, going out.
Definitely the partying and also classroom experience.
I wasn't able to do a lot of practical things in class, and I'm a science major, and that is really annoying now that I'm applying for masters and I can't vouch for any practical skills whatsoever.
Going out, doing things also at your university with people, meeting people.
I think just going out and meeting lots of people outside of AUC.
There's a lot of traditions that haven't happened in the same way that they have previously, and that's been a bit upsetting.
Big cultural events, both within the uni context and the non-uni context, so stuff like festivals, concerts.
I feel like I haven't really been able to experience the city fully.
I think I really missed out on experiencing Amsterdam for what it's usually like, traveling throughout the summers.
Has it impacted your mental health?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think so.
I feel like I've been quite lucky.
I don't think that I'm one of the people that really struggled with it a lot since I had a very busy year during Corona, which kept me going.
Now it's a lot harder to cope with because it's just going around in circles and there's no end at all.
Especially this time around, I just really don't want to do it again. I think it just makes it worse.
You kind of don't know what's coming next, which is a bit scary.
I was really happy this semester, and then I realized, oh my gosh, I was in a really bad place the semester before. I've been way more anxious and also socially anxious.
I think it's probably been negative overall in terms of social anxiety.
The one thing that's impacted me the most is just the amount of free time you have with COVID, and the lack of socializing has a negative impact on your mental health.
Just because you kind of miss a whole year of properly socializing
Yeah.
with people, and then after you feel like you don't really know how to like act anymore.
That I'm more scared of people again.
So in like ways I feel like I don't even sometimes realize.
Went to therapy for the first time, so yeah, I think a lot.
And also just being so far away from my family, I'm having it hard to actually travel and see them has definitely been a big impact as well.
Not being sure whether you can go home to your family is always like quite a stressful feeling.
Would you say that it also impacted your study performance?
Yes.
In some ways yes, in some ways no. Not that I don't study as much or something, but it's just like I'm sometimes more drawn to be more lazy.
It's so much harder to focus online.
Like doing class on Zoom was really difficult. I still can't focus on Zoom.
When classes are online, you're much less tempted to like participate in class and actively discuss things and like think about things critically. It becomes more of like a game of like how little can I do in order to pass.
Like I think those semesters I felt like I was getting a lot less from it than the semesters we did in person.
During the online time, I found it really hard to concentrate, and I didn't really care about school as much anymore because of that.
I mean, luckily I'm the kind of person who also enjoys studying, so it was a thing that also like kept me going.
When you're kind of limited in like other activities, you guess you have to focus your energy somewhere else.
So if anything, it's made me too obsessive with my schoolwork almost, I think, which I don't think is necessarily always a good thing.
Yeah, I was stuck inside. I don't do well studying in my room.
When you don't feel really good mentally and you have no way to let it out or go out or relax, then it does affect your study.
I mean, it probably influenced me in ways that I just don't know.
And are you optimistic about the future when it comes to Corona?
No. Well, it can't really get worse.
Sometimes I am.
I'm optimistic that one day it'll go away, but I'm not optimistic as to how long it's going to take.
I'm hopeful.
Looking back at the past, we have been in so much worse situations. I think there will always be chaos, and something will always create chaos, and at the moment it's just Corona that creates the chaos.
I did like after the first lockdown, like I'm just kind of trying to never have hope about this getting better, because otherwise I'll just keep getting disappointed. So no optimism.
I think I'm just in the mindset of not having any expectations and not knowing or not setting myself anything that I'll get disappointed by, you know.
If I think about like what is going to happen in 5 years, and I usually just get sad.
I feel like I try not to think about it because I feel like the thought of it just going on is kind of depressing.
It's difficult right now to see a good future.
We underestimated it in the past, and we're probably still underestimating it now. I'm scared that COVID continuing is going to exacerbate societal problems.
I'm most scared of it just going round and round in circles.
Just that like it keeps going in a cycle.
Yeah, that nothing ever goes back to normal. Just the thought of it being like this forever makes me really scared.
My biggest fear is that we just never get back to normal life.
For it to kind of change the way we live forever, and I kind of think it will, which really scares me.
I think I'm most scared of the impact it's gonna have on not only me but also teenagers, primary school children, and it will be a big generation, and later we're all gonna find out how that affects societies.
Going through college and never having completely normal experience.
I thought the rest of university is going to be like this, and as soon as university stops, it is not like this anymore.
Getting stuck in a country again, or like borders closing. So it just means I would probably get separated from my family, and that's, I think the hardest thing.
What are you most excited for when Corona will die down?
Clubbing, going to the club.
Casual travel again.
Going to a big festival, catch some weird disease. As young people, we should be allowed to get sick from being in a festival.
Like big events at uni that haven't happened due to Corona.
Not having it in the back of our minds when we're doing everything.
The possibility to do things.
Yeah, traveling and really enjoying my social life.
To hug people and just interact again.
Going out and doing things and like just being able to travel.
Just being able to like have more stability and planning for things, like
Not being afraid of seeing other people and having in the back, I could be sick, but they could be sick.